Hello, folks, and welcome back to Chris Wyatt Reports. This is Chris back in Pennsylvania once again. And breaking news out of South Africa, this time once again about our favorite parastatal, Eskom, the electric utility which has failed South Africans in a miserable way. This, its centenary anniversary, and it can't deliver half of its installed electricity capacity to what was once the most advanced economy in all of Africa, and now is a collapsing, failed state. So what's going on here? What's the latest? Well, prevaricate, that's today's word of the day, which means to speak or act in an evasive way. Sounds very much like politicians, doesn't it? Politicians do prevaricate quite frequently. President Cyril Ramaphosa, members of his cabinet, and senior leaders within the African National Congress have all called on former Eskom CEO Andre de Ruyter to report the knowledge of criminal activities among senior government officials to the police. They threatened him with a criminal charge for a case they can't prove if he fails to go and report in his role as a former government official any corruption. Has anybody asked Cyril about Pala Pala and reporting corruption? Just asking. But meanwhile, the reality is the former Eskom chief actually personally briefed the highest ranking police official in the country, National Police Commissioner General Fani Masamolo. This chap right here on the screen. Yep, he briefed him on allegations of corruption at Eskom about criminal syndicates, 4 of them reportedly operating in Mpumalanga, and the alleged involvement of 2 senior ANC government officials. So he's already briefed the police. What's he supposed to do? File a case? Actually brief the senior guy. News24 news outlet and Independent Line are also reporting that they established that Masamola acted on the information and even tasked a senior police official who has decades of investigative experience, and News24 claims they know the name of this investigator, to investigate the matters raised by de Ruyter. So what is the ANC going on about? What are they dribbling on about here? They're threatening Andre de Ruyter for not reporting a crime. He's reported a crime. And according to News24 and a reliable source in the police, they began an investigation into what de Ruyter told them. And he didn't just tell them yesterday. These events go back to 2022, folks. On the 5th of July, 2022, de Ruyter briefed the Public Enterprise Minister Pravin Gordhan, another failed ANC cabinet member, and President Ramaphosa's National Security Advisor, this fellow, Sidney Mafumadi, in the presence of one of Gordhan's advisors at Megawatt Park, that's Eskom's head office in Joburg. Now, communications that News24 claims to have seen confirm the names of the 2 senior ANC government officials that were shared with Mufamadi. Wow. So that's on the 5th of July, 2022. De Ruyter went to the government and told his boss, Pravin Gordhan, about senior government officials' corruption and criminal syndicates in Mpumalanga affecting service delivery. What did Pravin Gordhan do? Nothing. He reported to the police. What did the police, the senior police official in the country, what did he do? Nothing. Now, for his part, Mafumadi denies he was ever told any names, and that's what we call prevarication. Now, according to News24, de Ruyter also made a presentation before the National Joint Operational and Intelligence Structure, or NATJOINTS for short, and he set out information not only from a private investigation that took place, but also from Eskom's internal probes. But he didn't name the senior government officials that are linked to those Mpumalanga syndicates. Now, what is this all about, and why does Andre de Ruyter, as a head of a electricity company, have to report this? Well, as a parastatal, technically he's a government official, a senior government official, and Section 34 of the PRECA, that's an act against corruption, places a legal obligation to report any acts of corruption by any person who holds a position of authority. Andre de Ruyter. And now, anyone who knows or ought reasonably to have known or suspected that any other person has committed acts of corruption, fraud, theft, extortion, forgery, or uttering involvement in an amount of 100,000 Rand or more. So let's see, 4 to 6 million US dollars at Pala Pala. That is in Rand. I think that's in excess of 100,000 Rand. So is anyone charging Cyril Ramaphosa with corruption or with fraud or for failing to act as a senior government official? I mean, there is no more senior official in the South African government than Cyril Ramaphosa. Pala Pala, $4 million, US currency, wrapped in plastic, stuck under the mattresses, stolen, police illegally used to pervert the means of justice, torture, cross-border crimes, customs, currency violations, income tax evasion. Cyril, did you report any of these crimes? Yet the ANC is threatening Andre de Ruyter, who obviously reported the crimes, according to News24 and the Independent Online. So what is the ANC's game here? They're just deflecting. Now, for his part, the cat in the hat himself, Police Minister Beckett Chile, has confirmed through a spokesperson that he was not aware of the titles, names, or faces of those being investigated, but he is aware there's an investigation in that environment. So, another allusion, another indication of Andre de Ruyter's reporting of the crime. Now, for his part, here comes more of that big word for today, prevaricate. In an interview with Newsroom Africa, Pravin Gordhan said, yes, he, de Ruyter, made allusions about certain individuals, but it was precisely that, allusions. And as far as the law is concerned, or my understanding of the law is concerned, I can't just arbitrarily point to someone and say that person is involved, either being corrupt or involved in corruption. So you cannot just arbitrarily take action, Pravin Gordhan says. So why exactly are the people involved in the Free State swimming pool incident called racist, which is crimen injuria? The media has falsely labeled them racist without any evidence, and the government's taking action. How can the government and the Human Rights Commission of South Africa take action against Ebenetzebeth over a fraudulent claim of racism, trumped up to sideline the Springboks in the 2019 World Cup? How can South Africa's cricket captain breathlessly be called a racist for 3 years in the media with no evidence of it? The ANC investigated on an assumption, on an allegation. So Pravin Gordhan is telling us that he can't take action based on an illusion. You're full of... I'll just stop right there. Let's keep the profanity out of this discussion today. You are full of it. You are so full of it. Your eyes are brown, Pravin. You're nothing but a fraud, buddy. You're a fraud. You're lying. Of course you can act on an allegation. You didn't act on the allegation, and now you are prevaricating, acting in an evasive way to deflect from your failures. And why do you fail? Because you're part of the problem. Now, reportedly, there are 4 syndicates operating in Mpumalanga, where most of the country's coal-fired power stations are, and they're part of this investigation. Now, besides Andre de Ruyter's allegations, News24 says a private investigating firm has also uncovered some of the nefarious undertakings allegedly taking place at Eskom. So here's the bottom line. ANC senior officials deflect and say that de Ruyter has a responsibility to report the crime. Only he has reported the crime to his superior, to the police, to the National Security Advisor. What more is the man supposed to do? The ANC is actively trying to make Andre de Ruyter the scapegoat for their failings. They are a criminal enterprise, a corrupt racketeering organization that steals from South Africans, black, brown, and white. They don't care what your race is. The only people the ANC cares about in South Africa are cadres, or as the rest of the world calls them, cadres. That's all they care about. They're friends. And they are robbing South Africa blind. And South Africans, for their part, are seeking to flee South Africa en masse. It's heartbreaking to see the number of South Africans that I saw who want to leave their own country. Why? Violent, endless crime, pervasive corruption, failed infrastructure, and a government that simply race baits and lies and steals at every opportunity. South Africa, you're in a bad way. It's time for real leaders to step up. Not these leaders looking for attention for opposition parties, but genuine leaders who can lead South Africa to a better day. And ladies and gentlemen, anyone who votes for the ANC in 2024 hates South Africa and or enjoys race baiting and race hustling, because that's all they're doing. Don't vote ANC. Vote for real South Africans who are not a cabal of criminals who seek to make South Africa a better place. Thanks a lot, folks. Be sure to leave a comment behind if you have one, unless it's nasty. We don't like those. And give us a like if you don't mind. Thanks for watching.